Okay, so if you start with a circuit like this with known values for resistor, but you want to sweep through one of them, then you're just going to change the value of the resistor in curly braces, just give it a name, any name. I'm calling it R2. Then you need to give it a SPICE directive to tell it how to simulate. You could just start writing it here if you knew how to write it, or just hit S. But if you don't know how to write it and you need a little help, then just try to run and it'll bring up the simulation environment automatically. This actually only gives you a few options for transient AC analysis. These are all things that you'll learn later, but it actually doesn't give us what we're looking for. So instead, the best thing to do is go like this, bring up the SPICE directive window again, and right click. And then it gives you these help me edit options. And we're going to want to step through values of resistances. And we'll talk about these other ones when we need them. So this is just, you don't have to know anything about how to set it up. You just plug in numbers here and it'll teach you how to do it. So we're stepping through R2. You're asked to do a decade, I believe. Actually, let's just do linear for now. If we have to do decade, then you can do decade. Just choose it here. Nature of step, sweep. Start value. A resistor in SPICE can't be 0, otherwise it'll complain. So do something just really small. 1e minus 6 is plenty small. That's essentially 0 relative to the other sizes we have. Stop value. You can spell out meg if you want, or you can do 1e6 or 1k or whatever. Let's just do 1k for now. And increment. So let's just increment 100 per step. Okay, so then this is your directive down here. Now let's see what happens to this directive when we change it to decade. See, it just comes in here and it puts dec. So linear. Okay, so you'll get better at learning how to write these directives rather than relying on this tool. I assume you will at least. And then place it. Now watch what happens when we try to simulate. It brings me back up to this thing here because it doesn't actually know what to do with just this directive. So we don't have any sort of time component. There's no part of any waveform that dies off after a certain amount of time. There's no steady state AC analysis. We're not sweeping over any DC values. We are, however, choosing only one DC value to simulate, which is 5 volts. So you have to give it a .op. And there's the simulation. Then we have to go down here and click where we want to view it. And there you have it. So that's the voltage at this node here. And I can label this node. That way we don't have to. Let's put a label on this node. Let's just call it V2. Simulate. See, now it gives you the voltage at V2 up here. Alright, that's enough for this lab.